ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. 20 of us, that's 20 goons in a ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like.
Coach, for my money, it's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
I'm here all day. Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. We got three.
On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. First carry for Darius Geis. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Strip that ball. Let's go. Motion to the backfield.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Wake with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It's taken to the 26. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. To Michel on the screen. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
On the ground is Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they give this time to the tailback. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Check.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go, boy. Bring it.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
At the 34-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Good. Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
On the ground, this is Michel. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Panthers 3, Redskins nothing.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. Running for the shotgun with Drake. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
First down, Panthers.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it. This is Michel. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second and 5. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off the draw, here's Michel. And some room to roam now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
On the ready. Let's go, team. Big series. Switch. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check. Fresno.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Drake. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it, 6 points on the board. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 20. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On second down now, it's Gibson. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, Gibson. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run again with Love on 1st down. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
17 yards that time and a Washington first. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Hey, muscle. Echo. Big ass squeeze.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. It's a foot race. 30. 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, they run with Michel. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The gun now on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On 1st down, it's Gibson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Whip. Watch the whip. He's coming. We got double up. Right.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Mark 38. Got you.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. This complete to the tight end Clay. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Love. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check it back. Anyway. Go. Switch.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Again, it's Michel. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And it's Michel once again. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
He'll look to throw. Try to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. The throw taken in by Sims. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 41 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll try the left side. It's Gibson. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Charles Clay there to make the grab. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. On second down, Michelle. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Michelle, and he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. And that's complete. It's Sims. The big gainer there on the catch and run. 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. After the sack on first down, Haskins. And he's going to go down again. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Haskins to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here we go, D. Here I go. Here I come again. Hatchet.
4th down. Here's Haskins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And out across midfield down to the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. They'll run with Michelle. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete on the deep ball. It's third down.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 14. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.
Tell me what you want, what you need, tell me what you wanna give me.